Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 5. Unfortunately, in the last game, Giraffe said that Pudge should buy Abyssal Blade, so I decided to kick him off the desk. But I did find a suitable replacement. I have here with me here today a LD2L veteran who has played several seasons up to this point. Played with This is Spartan Season 12. We've got the Beatus. What's going on, Beatus?
Hey guys.
That's real convincing. They'll definitely think you're someone else now.
Hey there, guys. It's me, the Beatus. What's going on, bro?
10 seconds.
It's a very unflattering impression.
That's me, that's the Beatus.
5 seconds remaining.
CHRONO LUCILFER is not going to let that Pudge go through again.
Interesting. I guess they don't have first pick.
Yep.
That was a hero they first picked against my team twice. And we let him.
Dire team pick.
And at the start of game 2, do you remember what I said?
You thought it was going to be Inno, so I remember what you said was wrong, but I don't remember exactly
It's
what you
true.
said.
It starts out, the first picks are literally the exact same, and then I say, do I even need to cast this game?
That game was a lot closer.
It was!
It was Moon and not Inno.
It's true. But the answer was no, the result was the same. Marcy and Undying coming out.
10
Gee
seconds
whiz.
remaining.
Don't thrill me too much, guys.
5
I might even get
seconds
excited.
Marcy is still the most broken hero right now. And also it counters Undying.
The only downside to Marcy so far this season is that most +4s can't actually play Marcy. So far, it seems like. So we have these first pick Marcys every game that can't actually play the hero and don't do anything.
Week 1, I played at position 5, and that was my second ever Marcy game. But we still won.
There you go.
Just because the hero is good, not because I played it well.
Hey, you played it better than your Omni Knight game. I remember that.
I disagree with everything you said that game, by the way. I thought I played way better that game than the Marcy game. You mentioned that I died solo at the start of fights, like every fight, but that only happened once. Got a bone to pick with you.
You can pick as many bones as you want. You can rewatch the footage if you'd like. Undying and Dawnbreaker coming out here. We got the Marcy.
10
Undying and
seconds
Dawnbreaker, that's a pretty nasty combo. I don't know if it's going to be supports or if that's 5 and 3. Probably not for Undying. It's not very popular here. Either way, that's a pretty good combination of heroes. If Aqua under Forcestaff tries to just immediately convalesce on the Tombstone, Dawnbreaker can start jumping on it, and that gets really hairy really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Razor's typically good against melee heroes, but it's not necessarily a Dawnbreaker counter.
Yeah, good against melee heroes, just not really these two melee heroes particularly.
Yeah, it's still not a bad pick, because you already have the Undying semi-counter with the Marcy.
10 seconds
I will say it is very brave to pick up Razor before you see any of the enemy cores. Presumably, anyway.
Yeah, it's also a very safe pick, because it'll always have impact, it just might not be like a dominating hero.
They are banning well for it. A lot of the heroes that Razor does not
10
really like to
seconds
see.
remaining.
Yeah,
Getting
Primal
eliminated
Beast
here.
necessarily one of the hardest
5
counters to Razor,
seconds remaining.
but Poho already banned it. At least early game, that is.
I know Iceman doesn't want to hear it, but of the heroes that are left in the roster that are really good against Razor X is probably the one I would certainly think of the most. I know it's something Pasky likes to play. It's somewhat rough into Marcy, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
Remaining.
I wouldn't really want Axe this game, I don't think.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, do you know, is it a Dawnbreaker 3 or 4?
Dire team pick.
I assume it's gonna be Dawnbreaker 4. It's a rough lane, but once you get out of... I mean, actually, I figure if you're gonna run Axe, it might actually be better just run Undying 4, because Undying and X, really nasty. Just getting called in front of the tombstone and having to just sit there and build up zombies around you really sucks.
I think the
10
aspect is just
seconds
very
remaining.
dangerous. That's 3 strength melee heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know if they have a Timber player on Gotham's team, but that would be my insta lock right after. Like Timber AA or something, just to deny the AA pick.
No Viper, by the way. Viper, Necro, both knocked out. No, they're banning out the Necro against the Razor as well. So that's another pretty solid answer to the Razor, I think. Very interesting that they ban it.
Yeah,
Guess
it
they
must
just
just
don't
be
want
a hero pool thing.
Radiant team pick.
Here comes the Jakiro, speaking of hero pools.
Radiant
So that is a
team
Dawnbreaker
I think-
3 then.
Lena.
They need to stray away from that because the Jagiro is just it's too predicted. Even if Poho is really good at it compared to other heroes, it's just too easy to draft around.
Oh no, I actually do feel like if there is like
Dire team
you know, there is a hero that is Ogre Magi comes out right in the response. It's like season 12 all over again. There is a hero that I do feel like it's like there's going to very, very rarely be a bad game for it. I mean, like Jakiro is just going to be on that list. It's like you can draft around it, sure, but is there's not really a very long list of heroes that's like I really want to face Jakiro in particular for some reason. Not many of those.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you saw last game they picked the Legion in response, and that worked out really well. But this game they don't have a hero like that with the Purge.
And they really could not afford to do the Legion again. This is a very bad Legion game so far.
Yeah, the Legion was only really a good pick because of the morph pick after that. Countered himself.
Yeah.
I feel
This is
for Poho's team right now because this is kind of how our drafts turn out. Like we pick our 2 melee heroes that are just strong laners, and then we pick a support, and then we're like, what do we do now? We don't have the hero pools.
I feel like this is pretty much the ATHF lineup here is pretty much exactly like the second round AOET lineup the week before. Like this looks exactly like that Iceman game,
10
basically.
seconds remaining.
I don't think I saw that one. I definitely need to watch some
5
Iceman
seconds
games.
remaining.
Yeah, it
Really
was Razor Pause 1, Lena Pause 2, Godlike Matt picks Axe and just shatters them.
Matt's too good. We gotta ban
Dire
him from the
team
league.
back.
Yeah, there you go. No Morphling.
Radiant team back.
No Drow Ranger.
I do like the Ember pick though because there's no instant disables necessarily. As long as he reacts fast.
There's like the Ogre Q, which takes like it's a very short time, but there's still a time there. The Marcy drop you can see coming, the LSA you can see coming. Razor doesn't have anything.
5 seconds remaining.
So if he's quick on the trigger, and it is Moon River, somebody you know is going to be pretty reliable playing this hero. No Lifesteal, that's interesting. Somebody you know is going to be relatively reliable at playing this hero, right? If Moon River is quick on the trigger finger and manages to get out of town before the Fire Blast comes out, could be good. Downside is if Ogre Magi is actually positioning himself really well in these games, if Bonus is putting himself in such a spot that, like where he's hiding in the trees and he reveals himself by fire blasting you, that can be kind of bad for the Ember. That's really the only thing, and there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of conditions that go into that. It's not an everyday type situation.
Dota question for you because I'm dumb.
All right.
If Lena gets Yules, can you perfectly time it where Ember can't get away with your son?
I don't think so. But it gets to the point where it's like if you're not like a TI level Ember Spirit, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you gotta be real quick. Because I play both those heroes and I have no idea actually.
Because it kind of comes down to when you're talking about a question like that in LD2L, it turns into less of a question of potential and more into a question of like, well, I guess less into a possibility question and more into a potential question. Is it going to be potentially possible that a 2K Ember Spirit, even if it is a good 2K Ember Spirit, is going to do that? It's a little unlikely.
I'm a huge fan of that Shadow Fiend pick, by the way. As long as he gets like a Manta or BKB really early, or maybe both, that is a great pick. Razor and Leaner are going to do a ton of damage if he hits the target. The only thing is they don't have catch for Ember Spirit still, as a catch, like I said earlier. But I don't think that'll be an issue if the lanes go as the same they did last game.
Yeah, last game there was a pretty major collapse, so... Snipe hunt.
That I don't like. That is a bad pick.
Okay, so what's the deal here? That's going to be a pause 1 sniper, okay. I think they legitimately just banned out Inno's entire pool and he didn't want to run anything risky.
They really needed something like a Naga here. I don't know if it was banned or not, but Naga, PL, something, an Illusion Hero would have been great here. CK
Yeah.
even.
Actually, this is an awesome PL game, actually. This is going to be a
Yeah,
pause 1
PL
Shadow
probably,
Fiend.
PL and Naga would have been top 2 picks for me. Which I think Inno plays both of them.
It's a
We'll
bad
see.
sniper
Razor's
game.
gonna have a hard lane.
Razor's not going to... Well, it's going to start off bad for Razor, but I think the problem is that Razor's also going to have Marcy there. So, you know, it's going to start off kind of rough. I think Jakiro is going to be kind of walking all over the lane personally for a minute there. But, you know, once Razor gets a few levels and especially picks up an item, it's like Gotham throws Sniper and game over for him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, really the bigger problem is that I think Passy's gonna have a harder lane than the Razor is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, well, I think if he runs it really
Dawnbreaker-
well, the
Dawnbreaker can like escape, but you can't farm against those heroes. Because Bonus is just gonna keep throwing his Ignite on you, which does a ton of damage. And then
Is it-
Cheeseburger does a ton of armor reduction, which Dawnbreaker already doesn't have a ton of armor.
it's going to be a either Pohohoro is going to be going up there with Pasky, or more likely it's going to be a pause for Undying here, which we've seen Chrono Lucifer run a couple of times, which that might turn the tides a little bit there.
Yeah,
So-
I think the huge thing for this game will be the Undying. Whether or not the Undying has huge tombstones, or if they actually like focus the tombstone or not. That'll
So-
decide the game, in my opinion.
It's also going to be a big lane phase for Shia LaBeouf as well. I feel like if Shia LaBeouf personally does really well in this lane, he can almost personally shatter it. Basically, I mean, it's going to be up to the Dawnbreaker to formally get the job done. But I can tell you this, you know, he's going to be up against a Pause 1 Shadow Fiend. Tell you what, Pause 1 Shadow Fiend does not really want to have happen to him. He does not want to lose a lot of strength for no reason. He does not want to go in lanes. I mean, look at that. He has 19 plus 5. You know, it's not going to be too many Qs from Undying to get rid of, like, all of that, basically. So if Undying has good decays, if he has good tombstones, if he plays this lane well, he can make it to the point where Dawnbreaker can just kind of have a nasty thought about Shadow Fiend and he instantly explodes. But if he's getting flummoxed, if he's pause 5. Never mind!
That's
Okay.
TikTok, your favorite one.
They want to do this to me. They want to do this to me. They want to do this to me, and then they're going to be ticking and talking in my ears? Okay, okay.
See, now I'm gonna have to start TikToking.
There you go. There you go. No, see, what you do is you do something that I don't like, and then you start TikToking just to drive me crazy. Why, oh why are we not laning the Undying against the Shadow Fiend? Like, Shadow Fiend can't exist with that too long. Like, he's gonna have the Ogre Magi there. The Ogre Magi is gonna be annoying, but the Ogre Magi's had a lot of his teeth removed. He's the Claude. Okay. It's gonna be kind of rough if things start out with Pasky getting first blooded here, though.
Honestly, I think you should have taken the slow on Razor there. The Link is so bad level 1 now. I think they got the kill easier if they get the slow. Oh no. Cheeseburger.
I think they get the kill at all if they get the slow.
Cheeseburger, get out of there. No mana. Mr. Rays.
Two.
Sad days.
Yep, it is gonna be Undying here, and I mean, hey, that's gonna be it's gonna be good for the first couple of levels, but I don't like him against some Marcy. He doesn't have enough to offer against Razor.
No, I think this
Not
is a
gonna
terrible lane
stop.
switch right here. I think Undying should definitely be bottom.
Yeah, no. Oh god, I'm getting pancreatic cancer just watching this. I'm gonna be just like Steve Jobs.
So for what I'm guessing from just being in this league is that they said, oh, we want melee plus ranged. And that's what they did. But
Undying is almost not a melee hero in execution. Like I know he I know he right clicks sometimes on your guts. Yeah, I know.
I've been in that
I know. I'm just saying. Here's my response to that. Undying, if he's playing it right, is going to be spending most of his lane phase just using his Q and dropping a tombstone. Okay, that's what he's going to be doing to be effective here as far as offense goes. He's going to have the soul rip. That's probably mostly going to be defensive. You're probably not going to be soul ripping the enemy many times. You're going to be dropping Qs. Somebody else is going to be doing the right clicks. And yeah, it's nice to have a ranged hero to do those right clicks with, but I mean, come on now, brother. No, don't do this to me.
I mean, as I said earlier, the offlaners are both going to have a hard time, so it really just depends on who has a harder time.
So, I think, just gonna tilt this really hard in favor of Radiant here. It's like, so now, there's nobody who's really gonna scare Shadow Fiend much. There's not that existential threat of him having 1 max HP anymore. And
yeah, I mean, killing
Ogre
Shadow
Magi's
Fiend is really going to depend on Ember Spirit playing well later in the game.
Yep. The Ogre Magi is just gonna walk all over, huh? Ogre Magi is just gonna walk all over the,
Oh, why is he even down there? The creep player's up there.
Maybe deluded himself into thinking he was gonna get kill here.
Take
And hey,
him off,
kills are gonna
right?
come out. In fact, it's gonna be a double, just not for Sniper.
Switch your roles right now. Sheila beef carry right now.
Shiloh Beef,
then
pause
you
1
win.
Undying.
It's viable.
Are
I
you
watched a YouTube
sure
video
about
today.
this?
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video today where offlane Undying rushed Daedalus, and he won. He was definitely not smirking either.
Speaking of, pause 1's just kind of sticking around in the lane at low health for not really any good reason. The Shadow Fiend decides watching Bonus get trade with the support is boring. I want to trade with the support too. It doesn't work.
You're definitely right though. Undying would be a lot better down here. Poho can't do as much to this ogre as an Undying would.
Did get the kill on Shadow Fiend, which is good, but I do feel like, unfortunately, hate to say this because it's very mean, I do think that had a little bit more to do with Cheeseburger being out of position there than any great genius on Poho's part.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think he's necessarily like a carry player either, so.
Hey, he's got a bronze Dota Plus medal on Shadow Fiend, so that's good.
That's better than most of my carry
Dire
heroes.
structures are fortified.
I like the glyph to protect the creep wave there, just to
Yeah, I was
annoy
trying to figure
Razor
out what that
more.
was for. Was that just to like provide pressure? Or
I think that was
what lane
legitimately, it
wanted
was just like, they were hoping that the creeps were just gonna run into Razor, you just wouldn't be able to kill them. Just force them to tank some hits. Might have also been a attempt to pressure this bot T1 here, but it is not working. Bonus is just gonna kind of randomly run out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's there. He didn't need to do that at all.
Well, see, there you go. That was why they picked Jakiro. They knew that Bonus and Cheeseburger were just gonna kind of
Undying
run
would
out.
have done that better though.
Dire's courier has been killed.
No, but see, Undying get the double kill at top. So you see, it all worked out in the end. It was just
guess.
predicated. Everything was predicated on the enemy making mistakes, and they did.
Sniper with a 3 Wraithband build.
Reminds me of seeing some old pub slarks that used to build like 6 bracers and then just go from there.
Yeah, go back on that one.
Okay.
I want to see that again. Okay, he's just by himself.
Yep. Bonus goes out, looks at a camp, thinks about pulling it, doesn't work out. They do good here, recognizing that the Shadow Fiend is not actual, like the Ogre Magi is not in this lane. It's just too far to do anything about it. The Ogre Magi is going to kill the Ogre Magi in revenge and probably force a general retreat here on
Wait,
Basky's
what did you just
part.
say?
I said Ogre Magi is going to kill Jakiro in revenge and probably force a
okay.
retreat on Basky's part. Also, some massive hoo-ha just happened at top. Let's check that out. Razor just kills Sniper, then dies again. You know, that's great for Undying, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this is only happening at the cost of Sniper's life. And that's not good. It's not very good at all. Especially when you consider that Lena is definitely going to be able to, you know, have a big statement this game. I mean, so far Lena's definitely going to give performance here mid.
That's a good rotation.
Oh, had the Fairy Fire there.
He slightly stacked the stun, that's why he didn't die on Ember.
Well, I mean, I think the actual reason is they were just overconfident. Oh, what?
Oh, now
Speaking of overconfident, but I think they were just a little too overconfident on ATHF there.
The Ember definitely would have died if Lena didn't stack Marcy's stun.
The Ember also definitely would have died if Lena just Laguna bladed there. You know, if they did,
have mana for that.
or if they, you know, well, they did because they just got the bottle right off of Marcy there. Or if they didn't just turn around after throwing out the one last hit and saying, okay, done, he's going to die now. Either way, it is a kill on Ember Spirit. He is able to take the Ember Spirit Express back into the lane, but...
Yeah, he's going to have a bit of a tough time now, though. Marcy just threw him
that
away from
was,
the tower.
yeah, that was exercise and poor communication, unfortunately. I think Marcy
Sniper
did that.
level 6?
It's Sniper 6 now.
Oh, no,
Sniper's
no,
level
no,
4.
no.
I think Marcy... Undying's level 6, though.
Oh, God, don't know.
Marcy
Inno.
was trying too hard to go for the save there, I think. Not really
Alright.
thinking about potentially getting the kill there.
So during this cast, we discovered how to beat Inno. You don't give him Pudge, and you don't give him Faceless Void or Jug. And then
there
what
you
does he do?
Tombstone behind the T1
That is a
body.
very weird tombstone. That's way too passive.
Trying to, I assume, trying to stop anybody from TPing in on this, which does not. Ogre Magi is going to TP here anyway.
And Ogre's right.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Sniper's actually going to get the kill here.
That was
He's
not
going to
worth it.
die.
Definitely not worth it. That's 2 for 2.
They did pull out the Ogre Magi from bot. I will say this much. Considering Shadow Fiend has 2 deaths on record compared to Dawnbreaker's 0, why do they have the same amount of last hits?
Go to net worth.
Speedy
That's
roll
why.
of haste.
Shadow Fiend has been using a ton of regen and dying.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Ogre Magi is just gonna stick around at top and go down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's gonna be a siege out on the T1 mid here. Ember Spirit is gonna intervene, but at this point he is too late to
Just
say
token.
much. Tower is going to live with 230 health, annoyingly just over enough to deny. I hate when that happens to me.
I don't think this matchup should have been this, like, Lena favored. It's a little Lena favored, but not this Lena favored.
Denied.
You did have
If
the
you're
rotation.
really good at Ember, if you're really good at Ember, it is Ember favored, obviously. Overall, though, this game is a lot more even than Game 1.
Razor here. Very low. He's gonna go down here to the first assassinate. Shadow Fiend? You pulled Shadow Fiend into this?
That was a very risky and very bad TP in the end.
Okay. Of all the people you could have called to that, you called Shadow Fiend. I don't know. You know,
think
Marcy
any
is
hero you
right
do
here.
in any game, you die.
Is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
There's an egg in the river.
Ouch. Lena walking away
This
with
is what
50
I
HP.
expect. This Ember should be jumping on this Lena like he just did.
Radiant's
Not
middle
quite killing him,
tower
but
is
that's
under
how it should
attack.
go. Lena should be
Dire's
scared.
middle tower
Ember
is
shouldn't
under
be scared.
attack.
Razor doing some warding.
Only 2 Wraithbands though. Can't compare to
Sure.
Sniper.
Sniper has 3, and he has power treads, and he has 1 tango.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's 16 full armor.
Dawnbreaker going very deep here. Is going to get the kill on Gotham.
Radiant's middle
Very nearly costs her life. She doesn't actually get hit by the Ignite there, which is a very big stroke of fortune. Everybody walks away from the chorus to just kill Ogre Magi.
This is all 5 mid for a maybe tier 1. I don't know if this is worth it. Okay.
Well, they got 2 kills
They're
on a
gonna-
tier 1, so you know.
Yeah, they're gonna let him have it, it looks like, so.
And on top of that, they also did get the chorus to just sit there, so. Shadow Fiend and Razor alike just spent like 20, 30 seconds just sitting below the T1. Sitting in the shadow of it, doing really not much. See a little caught here. Throws Undying rather right into Razor's hands. He's gonna go cleanly down here.
Yeah, 1 for 1 so far. I'm actually really surprised at how Sniper is so farmed. What does he have? Still just agility, okay.
I'd also like to point out that Undying has a higher net worth right now than Cheeseburger. Than the
Yeah,
Shadow
he's played
Fiend.
really well though.
That's true. Shia LaBeouf has done a very good job on the Undying this game, but this is a sort of a fall apart for Shadow Fiend. And again, this isn't even the worst spot he could have been in. I feel like if it was the Undying in lane against the Shadow Fiend, he'd be like seriously, like in the 1K range right now, maybe.
Yeah, what's Shafian building? Master Man. So he still wants to go right click. Interesting. That's very hard to farm with. And he went the spell build. So he wants to convert into right click with I don't know if I like that. That's gonna be tough to win with.
I like Razor's Wraithbands and Rings. It's a very aesthetically pleasing inventory in certain ways. Not so much in others. I'm gonna just chase him down here.
Neither
Kind of
team
a
has
right
great
click.
really initiating stuns, so I think there's gonna be a lot of that coming in the future.
Geez, we're gonna try to do himself a stack here. It's everything but the big guys. And he has to walk away because Pohohoro showed on. No, he's gonna walk right back in and just. No. He's just gonna soften up the big guys. For absolutely no response from the chorus here. So, number 1 Frankston going to get eaten. Undying going to get eaten.
This is where I'm saying that Marcy counters Undying. Game goes long enough, Marcy can just destroy the tombstone, and then that's your big teamfight spell. Other than maybe Dawnbreaker.
And he got the Macropyre as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, if it goes anything like last game though, he won't or she won't even be into the fights. Shakiro's just gonna die.
I don't know. I don't feel like they are quite as good as just eliminating the Jakiro this game, unless Lena just specifically sets out personally to do it, which I think is not a great use of Lena in this game.
Has fallen.
Yeah, I could see the Shadow Fiend eventually getting a Shadow Blade or a Silver Edge.
I mean, if he gets a
that's a long
silver,
way
if he gets
away.
a silver edge, if he gets a silver edge and goes on the Jakiro, you know, I don't know. I feel like there might be a slightly better target to hit with the silver edge break, but I don't know.
What do you mean? Someone like shorter and stouter that shoots farther?
Yeah, the Beatus.
Radiant's bottom tower
okay.
is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Not someone like
Radiant
big.
structures are
That's a
fortified.
boy that plays
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
ranged heroes.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah. Big boy LaCroix,
Oh, okay.
famous
He's
for his
gone.
sniper play. Speaking of Macropire, one coming out here is just gonna melt Lena. Gotham's gonna go down too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Razor in some danger here as well. But ultimately, the only person who goes down on that is just the Dawnbreaker. Who gets tipped? Oh no, Razor gets tipped there for not dying, I
Radiant's
guess.
bottom tower
The
is
good
under
news is
attack.
Radiant's gonna take top tower.
Dire's top tower is
Bad
under
news.
attack.
It's a T1 for a T2.
Structures are fortified.
See, this is what inflation gets you nowadays.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, normally Undying would not be this farmed, but in this America, he's strong.
Dire are scanning.
Okay, Lena is just kind of in the middle of nowhere here. But they're not like, they're not actually confident on this. They
Radiant's
seem to
bottom
believe that there's more people here than there actually are. The only
They're
person who
panic
really has to go
spells for no
sniper.
reason. That could have easily been like a Jakiro slow with a free stun.
Dire's top tower.
They're gonna turn around and they're gonna get. Okay, maybe they're not gonna get Gotham after
No, they're
all.
getting Marcy. That's what's happening. That's why this hero is so strong.
They do ultimately get the Marcy in the end, but man, it takes so much effort to get.
Marcy did so much there when she should have just died. Lena's probably okay here.
That was a fantastic panic button type offense by CHRONO LUCILFER. That was like I think one of the most visual and obvious comm line breakdowns I've ever seen. Everybody just has such a different idea of what to do with that. You've got people chasing Lena, you got people who just want to take the consolation prizes and the supports. You got people who just want to kind of pull back in general, who believe that there's too many enemy heroes there, when in actuality, no, it really is just kind of Lena and Marcy, at least for the first 10 minutes of that encounter. Now, speaking of Lena, just gonna wipe Dawnbreaker out the face of the world here. Everybody has
Lena's
this.
build. I don't know if you've seen it. Lena's build's interesting to me. Rushed the. Well, not rushed, but went for a Chrysalis, and is now going for a Shadowblade over a BKB, which I think is very dangerous, especially against their lineup.
Ogre Magi goes out to try and ward. It does not work out well for him.
Yep, that's standard LD2L. That's try to D-ward, get some info, but not worth it really in the end.
Try to D-ward, get summoned to hell instantly.
What does Inno have on Sniper?
Radiant's top
A bunch of
tower
green
is under
flavored
attack.
items still.
Oh, he went up farming item finally. Okay.
Yep.
Curious how long until he gets like a blink dagger or something. Because the BKB is good, but if Lena and Shadowfiend just click him, he's gonna die.
Radiant's top tower
He needs to
is under
position
attack.
himself well.
Elena's going all in on right click, and they don't really have anybody who's going to be able to stop that at all in any serious degree.
Yeah, I mean Lena's kind of the same, I guess, as
Dire's
Sniper.
bottom
Just
tower is
no
under
health, no evasion, or no
Radiant's
blink or
top
anything,
tower
no
is
movement,
fallen.
but a ton of damage.
I guess if
That's
nothing
really
else, they do have the ability to drop the Dawnbreaker on her, but that's pretty much it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Shia thinks about dropping the tombstone, ultimately does not decide to.
Moon River missed a few spells there. Playing like me. Oh, wait,
Well-
did he just didn't use his root earlier. Never mind. He waited for some reason.
The
That's
Dire's bottom tower.
the
has
chase finally concludes. After what feels like a million years, Marcia is going to ultimately go down.
fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is
I really
under
think
attack.
this game is either team's at this point, though.
I will say it feels like the Shadow Fame is just farming real slow.
Yeah, I
Can't
don't
really-
agree with the Mask of Madness. I don't like that at all.
Radiant's middle tower is
not
under
He
really
went the
finding his
spell
way.
build. He maxed his QWE before anything, and then went Mask of Madness
Dire's
after
top
that.
tower is under attack.
So looking at the net worth, it's really just Sniper. Sniper is
Dire's
2k
top tower
above
is under attack.
Lena.
Well, 1k
And
because
they're-
Lena's 89. So it's kind of
2K
like
rounded.
you know, $4.99 at the store, you know.
Yeah, that's $5.
Dawnbreaker is basically another support at this point.
Which is
Okay, what
surprising,
is
because
this?
They've had a ton of map control this entire game, so Dawnbreaker should be a lot more farmed.
It is
Oh,
astounding to
just
me
the-
that Shadow Fiend just TP'd to this outpost right in front of the Dawnbreaker and Undying there, and not only didn't die, but it looks like he's gonna actually get the kill.
Oh no, that was unfortunate.
That's like a legitimately, how do you not punish that type moment there? And the answer is everyone's distracted by Jakiro getting chased by man. Seriously,
Yeah.
especially considering, you know, that outpost teleport is like an hour and a half to get there, so.
Oh, Sniper's, he's getting surrounded. Oh no,
They're all coming at him.
Shadow Fiend missing. Okay, it doesn't matter, he missed.
Sniper gives out a couple of hoes, a couple of haws, ends up going down to Lena.
That's what I was saying though, he has no way to escape. He just gets gone on, he dies. It doesn't matter if he does a ton of damage. If he gets gone on, they kill him.
$200 falls out of Sniper's pocket and $500 falls into Lena's.
So remember last game I said 20 minutes, no one took a Roche?
22 minutes nobody's taken Roche. Nobody's even thought about it.
This game they have more Roche heroes on both teams. And
True.
they still haven't done it.
I think everyone's afraid of the counterattack.
He's going Sniper. Sniper is smart. He's like, he's drawing on the map. He's like, get over here to the left. We need this Roche.
I feel like for both teams it is a very high risk rush situation. Like the absolute, I mean, he doesn't have the Shadow Blade, so Shadow Fiend can't just casually saunter in there and just blow the hell out of you quite so easily.
He does a ton of minus armor though. Him plus Lena plus Marcy and Razor. That's a very short Roche.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's like, so if Chrono Lucifer tries to Roche, you know, Shadow Fiend can just kind of walk in there and say, hello everybody, just drop ult and rip that attempt. If the Radiant try to do it, Ember Spirit, well, we've seen in LD2L before some very tragic plays that were caused by teams trying to take Roche off of Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, what we just saw there was Ember Spirit.
Under attack.
He's free to run and do what he wants to. Like, they have no counter to him. They have no stuns, no instant stuns, no way to catch him. No one's going like a flip here or something.
Yeah, that very famous season 12 clip where the Ember Spear just comes in, suddenly steals the Aegis, and just kills everybody. That would be Trash Boat on that particular occasion. But with the Lena down, they did feel confident enough to just demolish this guy.
Yeah, Shakira's actually really good at killing Roche, surprisingly. Undying obviously is really good, especially if he has shard.
Fallen to the dire.
Sniper gets the Aegis. 5-minute smoke right out of the pit.
Alright, sniper BKB.
Marcy immediately TP's out. Sniper believes this is Lena for some reason, even though it was Marcy on the wave. Kind of the problem with the Aegis right now is what exactly do you do with the Aegis here? It's still kind of unlikely you get a push up here. I do think it is possible.
I mean, I think it's more likely than possible. Because snipers are going to sit in the back and they have nothing to go on him really other than Marcy. But if Marcy goes, he just dies. Yeah, I mean, he didn't even go and he's almost
And
dead.
nobody's actually here for
Radiant's
this.
top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are
Glyph comes
fortified.
out. People are starting to funnel in.
Yeah, the way Radiant wins is killing Sniper, and he has Aegis, so that doesn't work really in this fight. Tombstone down though. That is actually pretty big.
Tombstone is down. Sniper's already lost half his health and attrition just trying to get up here. I'm gonna try and throw him back. Aegis is pop. BKB comes out on Razor. Shadow Fiend ult. Fear Sniper
was a
before he
really
can
good ult.
react at all.
That's
And
what it's in
Sniper's
for.
is dead.
Sniper's just gonna get clipped.
Well, do you recall what I said about that being a difficult uphill for the Dire? If Radiant are actually
Yeah.
going to defend that, yeah.
Sniper gets gone on, Sniper dies. That's all there is to this game. It's very tough for them.
And even with the Aegis and the BKB, just... I mean, the biggest problem with that was not even necessarily Sniper gets gone on, Sniper dies. That was pretty bad, but I mean, that fight, everyone just died in like no time flat. It's just the Shadow Fiend ult comes out, and then suddenly there's nobody left anymore. The Razor,
Yeah, I mean, the
Razor
problem is
BKB
they
comes
really need the Ember to do a ton of work, and he's not.
out. Moon River
He
Slander.
has to be like their hard carry, but he can't be because Sniper's so farmed and he's taking all the space on the map.
Speaking of farmed, #1 Frank Stand is now moved into the #1 net worth position.
Yeah, not super surprising. He's been farming pretty well. All the extra damage from SF too in the fights is really huge.
It's like I'm a free Desolator that Desolator also works with.
Pretty much, yeah. And he's got the Silver Edge now too. So he can sneak up on people. He can. I mean, it's not really a great break, but it's still a bunch of damage.
It's enough. It's not the best break in the world, but I mean, Sniper is so positioning dependent in fights that just a couple of seconds just not being able to really fire at who he wants to can really ruin it for him.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see a blink, maybe even like a hex on top of it or something. Just destroy the Sniper and you win. That's a lot of gold to ask for though, so that's not easy to get to. What's that? That's like 7, 8K total.
It feels like so far, one thing in particular that I must point out is just, it really just doesn't feel like Dawnbreaker has been able to have much impact. Like, things went so well for her in lane. You kind of started saying it earlier before you got interrupted, but things went so well for her in lane, but she's sitting on basically support net worth at the moment.
Yeah, not even BKB yet, at almost 30 minutes into the game.
Not BKB, not anything. I mean, BKB's her first item, and there it is.
Oh, there
It
we
just
go.
finally came up right now. BKB is her first item. She's got nothing else.
No deso, nothing. Like, this is what you expect a support Dawn to have maybe like 5 minutes from now, at worst.
Yeah. And part of that is just like, you know, Inno has been soaking up so much of the map. Like, every creep that you could possibly hit, he's basically been hitting. You know, he has 190 last hits. He has 100 last hits more than the Dawnbreaker here. You know,
I also
that
think it's part on
Dawnbreaker
the
is...
Dawnbreaker
Radiant's
for playing in
middle
the same
tower
side of the
is
map.
under attack.
Dawnbreaker needs to be away. Because you can use your ult to get into the fights.
And the thing is, you can use your ult to get into the fights, but I do also kind of understand why Dawnbreaker is doing this, because on the other hand, if Dawnbreaker's not here, who's going to be the one that lives for more than 1/5 of a second to get a fight to actually start?
I mean, yeah.
Even
none of them
Dawnbreaker's
really
kind of
like
hard
me.
pressed, but like,
Dawnbreaker's supposed to be the one that like heals them as they're going in too.
yeah, that's the really tragic thing here. It does feel like Dawnbreaker's almost without a role in this
Yeah,
game.
look now. Dawnbreaker's walking into the fight instead of pushing a lane and then ulting into the fight. Dawnbreaker's probably gonna die before ult. That's my bet here. Or you have like a really ineffective ult.
Sniper's just gonna go down here before anything else happens. Dawnbreaker's not even gonna try to ult.
As I was saying, Dawnbreaker's gonna die before ult.
Yeah, no attempt was even made to ult out there.
He should not be there. I mean, not saying that was like a good fight otherwise, but
That was a really interesting thing. Is like Dawnbreaker like starts out this fight by walking up here. I thought Dawnbreaker's just getting out of the way, repositioning to just drop on the sniper, just get the ult out. But nope, that's not what happened. I do think there is a way to win here. I think you do have to win here. I think Dawnbreaker has to, and it's a hard thing to do, has to start the fight by soaking up some of the damage, right? Getting some of the incoming skills in, position back out of the fight. Might need to like buy items to get that done, or have the supports do that, right? Start in, get out, and then ult back in. I think that's how Dawnbreaker has to play the fights these games, and that is such a tall order.
If you're gonna start the fight by showing up at the beginning, then yes, but
And I don't think
he
like
should have been like bottom or mid.
And I think if he's bottom or mid, then it's like there's no potential at all. Like we've already seen Sniper melt in the time a Dawnbreaker ult is on his head, you know. So it's like that's not gonna work in this game. It's just a very
Sniper
cursed
pick
time
was
to be
just
done.
bad from the start because he's gonna get gone on, he's gonna get clicked, and he's gonna die.
I feel like this is definitely just a game that is just not. It's just not working to Dawnbreaker's favor. I think they just kind of needed something else here.
Yeah, as I think more about both of these games, it's really turned into just like a draft issue in both of them. It's not like they've played either of them that wrong. It's just they're very hard games because the other team has a better lineup.
Like, you know, this is like an awesome like Pit Lord game, for example. This is an awesome Underlord game. Tombstone's gonna go up here. It's kind of an awkwardly placed Tombstone for the enemy team. Razor's gonna have to soak up quite a bit of it, and it's gonna ultimately go down, but
Sniper BKB
doesn't matter.
TP'd and just died. I think that's it.
They got a million buybacks. This is an equally frustrating team to uphill against. So, you know.
Yeah, you gotta be alive though to defend.
3 buys. Are they gonna buy, or are they gonna say bye-bye to this Rex? They are not gonna buy. Or at least they're gonna wait out the glyph here. Gonna count on Jakiro to buy them time here to not have to do this.
Yeah, Jakiro used ult already though, so I think this is pretty free for the Rex.
Jakiro hits all the Shadow Fiends except the real one. Shadow Fiend courteously just walks into the ice path anyway, and yeah, both the racks go down by the time anybody spawns. Oh no, the ranged rack does survive with a little bit of health, but that is not the one that grows back. I'm dying, gonna take a casual fall on the response there. So that's a bit unfortunate. They do have sort of a good go there in the way that starts, but then the only thing that happens is they lose one of their guys. It's a 16k net worth advantage at this point. This is starting to get worse and worse.
Yeah, it's not like they really killed anyone either. They just defended.
No, they didn't. They didn't get a single kill on that. They scared Shadow Fiend.
And Shadow Fiend really could have probably just turned around and fought if he wanted to. He had Marcy on what is it, his W that gives lifesteal, plus
They use that to like earlier was on CD at that particular moment. Just regrouping here for another push. I don't know if they realize that Roche is up. I'm gonna say they don't.
if only they use the gem.
Gonna ping it out here.
I'm gonna like keep saying that until teams start using the gem and Rosh. Just throw your gem and Rosh if you have Rosh control. If the other team cannot get to Rosh, place your gem on the ground in Rosh.
Even if he's down, I will say, I don't know if you can ever sufficiently say the enemy team can't get to Roche with the Ember Spirit.
Well, no, I'm saying when Rosh can spawn.
Yeah, I know.
Like, don't just like put it there after you kill Rosh. Wait like until it actually can spawn, like after you've had it for 8 minutes or whatever.
I mean, I guess it's like, hypothetically, if they dropped it at like the first potential Roche spawn time, I think Ember Spirit can come in, snag, get out, but he A, has to know they did that, and B, has to want to do that to actually get that done, which I don't know if either of those two things would be the case here.
I think if you do that in this league, you're gonna dominate. Like, no one's gonna expect it. You're gonna win.
Marcy
Like,
picking
my
up
team
the
hasn't
drums.
done it.
Beat you like a drum. Yeah, see, that's the fact. That's what's holding you back.
Well, yeah, it's hard to like actually control Rosh, but both games they've been doing it, and they just haven't placed the gem. Because they've had control of this like entire 3/4 of the map, both games, after about 30 minutes.
I like the Dawnbreaker's Soul Ring to throw out the first hammer when nothing has happened in the fight.
Dawnbreaker really only has one item still, which is very sad.
Yeah, even
Marcy's
now
more
she still
farm.
has absolutely nothing. And yeah, indeed,
Marcy's
Marcy.
actually catching up to the Ember.
They're just trying to make so much space for Sniper here. Slow siege coming out, all sides of the map.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing either, though. Take their time, make sure they're actually like taking a good high ground fight.
Shadow Fiend has finished Daedalus.
I think I just saw Lena getting a Lincoln's.
Now you're seeing
No,
Lincoln,
Scotty.
Scotty.
Scotty's
Yeah,
in.
Lena getting a Scotty. The Eye of Scotland. Ember Spirit is just going to punish them for being sluggish by just ratting out the T3 bot here.
I don't really think Radiant cares.
Certainly not if he pulls out that soon. Just immediately jumps back up here, even though yeah, the assault has not really started yet. Shadow Fiend is walking up now. Undying immediately dies before anything happens, which is a very unfortunate place to be if you're Undying.
I like that they got in, got what they wanted, and got out. That's hard for a lot of teams to do. Let's see if they wait.
Well, let's
Right now,
see.
you probably want to wait to reset your timings. Like Marcy used BKB. I think I saw Shadowfiend use BKB. You want to wait for your timings again, then just go.
It's gonna be a minute before the bot lane comes out. Definitely the ideal way to push this lane out is rather than trying to get this bot wave here, just push one of the middle or top waves in and just hit the T3.
Yeah, I don't think they can really do backdoor, but as long as they have one of the other lanes.
Again,
backdoor's a lot stronger now.
Again, I feel like Ember Spirit is pulling out from these splits just a little too early. Like, he doesn't have any wards up, so he doesn't really have any information, but it definitely feels like he's being very cautious about this. And
I mean,
I
said at
understand
the
why he
beginning
is,
of
but
the game, they don't have any like instant disables either. So if he was just more cautious, I mean, like not cautious, just ready to get out. I think he's fine. Unless Shadow Fiend perfectly ults and surprises you with the Shadow Blade or something, I think you're good on Ember. Like, just push the lane and then remnant it out.
Well, all the timings are now up. Marcy goes in first,
looks like they're
BKB.
going.
Starts beating up the
gets
sniper.
gone.
Sniper knocked out, no buyback.
Razor has Blink on too right now.
Dieback on the Undying. Dawnbreaker immediately comes back in, but not too many people left alive. Aegis expires on the Shadow Fiend. Glyph comes out here, Jakiro buys back. I don't know what they really expect to get done at this point.
Yeah. Gotham Marcy definitely played really well this game.
Dieback on the Dawnbreaker. First death
that
on
was like
Ember.
3 or 4 clicks. Shadow Fiend killed him instantly almost.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, Shadow Fiend, you remember when Shadow Fiend had like a 1k net worth advantage? Well, rather, Sniper had a 1k net worth advantage over the Lina. Well, now Shadow Fiend has a nearly 10k net worth advantage over the Ember Spirit.
Yep, none of that mattered early game. But it wasn't like game 1, where you saw game 1, there's a Pohohoro team got destroyed in lanes and then couldn't come back. This was about even in lanes, maybe slightly a favorite of Pohohoro team.
BM at Inno, and I'll chat after. I mean, yeah, this is just a dead in the water draft. I don't know.
Yeah, I think both games ended up being down to the draft. Same thing my team's been struggling with is drafting.
It's just like the Dawnbreaker here. You just needed a more conventional pause 3. It's like, Ember Spirit's hard to catch, sure, but he's not tanky. He can get away easily, yeah, but he doesn't want to stick in fights at all. He wants to do his damage and get out. Sniper has no ability to frontline. Undying, as a support, he can frontline if you give him 25 minutes in the fight to do so. And Pohohoro on the Jakiro, that's tanky for a support. Tanky for a support does not mean tanky. They had no ability to frontline at all. Dawnbreaker had to play this game that's just horrible for her. Well, like I said, it's like she has to frontline, yet she also has to ult, which is not something you can really do when you're frontlining. So, like, you know, she's the closest thing to a tank she has, so she has to get the hits, go back and ult later. It's just, I don't know, it's just no good. Just not a great way for her to actually have to play this game. I do kind of vaguely feel like maybe they were thinking like Pohohoro Undying here before they were like, no, flex off to Jakiro, and that would make some sense. I don't know. The 3 and under club here, it did not work out. I feel like, you know, and one big thing in particular is like, Shadow Fiend died a couple of times, but like he got to have a lane anyway. He ended lane phase at like a low net worth, but like better than, you know, like better than some of the other cores out in the server. I think he ended lane like higher than Razor. I think he ended lane definitely ended it higher than the Dawnbreaker. You know, after trailing for most of it, right? Like, I feel like one of the biggest mistakes on Chrono is the lane switch here. Like, if they just had the Undying Dawnbreaker lane at bot, I think Shadow Fiend just goes like 0 in a million there and just can't get even close to a wave. Just puts the clock back so hard on Cheeseburger, and the way he built was not conducive to like a comeback anyway. You know, he gets like that first item Mask of Madness. Imagine that first item Mask of Madness comes out at like 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he did end up getting the 2 items I said, though. The Manta and the BKB.
Yep.
And then after that, he destroyed. Really? I don't... Because we saw that they still won the lanes, even after that weird lane swap they did.
Yep. Yeah, they still won.
They might have won it slightly more, but I think in the end they still lose the game because the sniper pick was just not good. They need Inno on a hero that is like a Pudge or a Jug or something that can be more accurate.
Heroes that got banned this game, yes.
I mean, there's other heroes that weren't banned. that they could have picked. Even a CK, I don't know if he plays CK, but something that can be like active and still carry.
Yeah, the PL idea, that's an awesome pick this game. I
PO
think
would have
that
been amazing in
that
this game.
screws this lineup so much. But yeah, it felt like Sniper was just so dominant for so much of this game, and it literally didn't matter the second they could kill him, the game was over. That was pretty much
He
the
needs
long
to be
short
on
of
a
it.
hero that can be active and farm, which PO, like you said, perfect hero this game. They would have won with PO pick.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. So, either way, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg to sign up today. It's too late to get into this. Well, no, it's actually not necessarily too late to get into this season, is it? We just literally picked somebody new up for one of these teams this week, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
So, hey, you can't discount the possibility. And we'll see you next time.